is business. And the business of an educational institution such as ours is to create young minds that understand that the business of America is the kind of business that it actually is. Whatever it is that I have said here today, the point is that we are here to honor our most generous benefactor and newest freshman, the man who's made it possible for us to break ground here today, Mr. Thornton Mellon.
Dean Martin, great speech, great speech. There's nothing like good, clean business, huh? And a little monkey business.
Oh, Philip, I'm so glad you could make it. Mr. Mellon, I'd like for you to meet Dr. Philip Barbay, who's the dean of our School of Business.
David, I just want to get it on record that I am totally against this. I don't think that selling admission to an obviously unqualified student is very ethical or honorable.
All right, Phil, but I'd just like to say, in all fairness to Mr. Mellon here, it was a really big check.
It's a simple matter of this man's presence undermining the efforts of our legitimate students who are here as a result of hard work. Hard work? Listen, Sherlock, while you were tucked away up here working on your ethics, I was out there busting my hump in the real world. And the reason guys like you got a place to teach is because guys like me donate buildings. I wasn't speaking to you, Mr. Mellon.
I don't think Dr. Barbay understands the actual amounts that are involved here. Mr. Mellon, will you take the ceremonial shovel?
Thank you.
And dig into the...
Undermining the efforts of our legitimate students who are here as a result of hard work. Hard work? Listen, Sherlock, while you were tucked away up here working on your ethics, I was out there busting my hump in the real world. And the reason guys like you got a place to teach is because guys like me donate buildings. I wasn't speaking to you, Mr. Mellon.
I don't think Dr. Barbay understands the actual amounts that are involved here. Mr. Mellon, will you...
One more minute. I don't think Mr. Barbay, Dr. Barbay, understands the actual amounts which are involved here. All right. Let's go through the league. Railtown is down 2.5 cents at 48 cents. So that gentleman who likes to swing trade is getting his wish, but you guys should not be swing trading this. I think you should be buying every bit of it you can. Every bit of it you can. I can't believe it's this cheap. GTII last trade 15 cents. I don't know if there's any volume there. Yeah, there's some volume. So somebody's trading it, even though Richard says you can't trade it. I don't know how to explain the difference. Finger motion is down 3 cents at 139. Mountain is down 9 cents at 13.55. Quantum, quantum, biopharma, AI, blockchain, gold, Kim Kardashian is down $3.26. $26, sorry. And I don't know what else you want to look at. GDC down 3 cents at 3.29. Nixie is up 2 cents. It's a winner today, 175. Energy Vault is up a penny at 146. Sure, it's going to catch at some point and make you rich as all your dreams. ZJYL down, 65.5 is the last price. G-Bucks, what's that? G-Bucks is down at 71.82. And I think that covers anything you're interested in or I have heard you talk about. Railtown is down 2.5 cents. 48 is the bid. The ask is 49.9. I don't have updated Tom Ronk numbers, but I believe that you're going to find out that all, A-L-L, all of the selling is fake. All of the selling is fake. Unless you got shaken out, and then I can't help you. I cannot help you. The stock opened at 50 cents, 50.509, went as high as 53.05, and they're doing everything they can do to scare you out. Please don't be scared out. Let me give you an updated figure. It's not much of an update, but it's an update. So let's go with what we have. It's weird. Why is everything... Why? I don't get it. All right. Guess I have to. I'm not sure that he understands the exact amounts here. For those of you who own Railtown, you are about to be as pleased as you can be. I don't know exactly when, but it'll be soon. How soon? I would guess sooner than I've been warning you. But I do want you to plan on it being September so you don't get all the stress in your life. But I think it's going to be a lot sooner than September. I think it's going to be a lot sooner. So this is one of your last chances to buy the stock under 50 cents. And of course you hesitate because it's down. That's normal human reaction. If you can fight your normal human reaction, you're going to be so glad you bought stock at 49.9. Are you out of your mind? Railtown, you all now own 10,800,000 shares, 7.8% of the last outstanding figure I saw, and it's 189 people who are going to be very happy they're in the stock. 12,970 bid for it, 48 cents, and supposedly 10,500 for sale at 49.9. And now they've added 13,000 and 6,500. They want you to think there's a lot of sellers. There are no sellers. And you're crazy if you sell. You're insane. Can I put it any more clearly? Now, yesterday, and we can try to do it again, I tried to give you some valuation numbers. And this morning, I did in fact speak to Railtown for 50 minutes. I took a lot of notes, and I haven't gone over my notes in detail. I'm sure that everything that I was told is in the public discourse. However, it was how it was told to me, The degree of confidence is off the charts. The company, there's two companies, as you know. There's Railtown AI and there's AI Partnerships. And then there's Canaccord Genuity. These three teams are working full on, without distraction, doing no other thing than working toward a conclusion of whatever they're working on. It was called to my attention that the last announcements have been by both companies, so I think that speaks for itself. He didn't say that, he couldn't tell me that the deal is done or will be done, but I think I can draw my own conclusions. I did get an enormous sense of confidence from the phone call on several areas. One is the conductor product was designed early, which I've shared with you, to answer a real problem. It is possibly, I wouldn't even say possibly, it is the only solution to that problem out there. Other technologies do one or two things. Railtown does it all. And I've shown you that before. I mean, that's not trying to find it. That's not privileged information. See the blue box? That's Railtown doing everything. And I'll just read through some of that to you. So the Railtown AI's product is a single source of truth. It improves team velocity. It improves developer velocity. It's an AI assistant, conductor AI assistant, release notes automator, ticket generator, progress reports. It has API, no code virtual developer, root cause analyzer. It categorizes errors. It puts errors in a group so the group can look at it. Intelligent alerting, and it catches errors early. I mean, those are some of the highlights in the blue. And then you go over and you see GitLab. They do team velocity, they do developer velocity, and they do progress reports. Then you see Jenkins. Jenkins does catch errors early. Euro Software does team velocity, developer velocity, and progress reports. Then you see Splunk. Splunk does 4 of these items. Root cause analyzer, categorizes errors. It does intelligent alerting and catches errors early. And then there's a product called New Relic. New Relic does intelligent alerting and catch errors early. And then there's Sonar Cube, spelled with a Q. That does catch errors early. Railtown is the best. It's first to market with the best. So this product is not, I mean, it's competitive, I guess, in the sense that other companies are trying to do the same thing, but it's better. It's actually would be helpful to competitors competing with each other. They have a lot of traction in the investment banking world. They joined this AMII, and Mila, which are the largest AI think tanks in the world, apparently. I didn't know that. The number of companies in AI partners is greater than, not much, but it is greater than the number that was in the February press release. Not much, but I'm not going to give the number, but it's still an exciting and valuable company. He did confirm, which I've shared with you, that AI partners basically said, after meeting Corey and Marwan and the product, said, hey, let's do a merger. So it sets up a wonderful pipeline of companies to acquire, but also to cross-sell, to generate revenues rapidly. I added the rapidly. He did say, look, it's a lot of work. He didn't explain everything, but he said, look, you got due diligence on everybody involved. You've got layers and layers of negotiations and signatures, and I'm filling in some of my own interpretation. But that, the delays make sense in that context. They do think they can create an AI company which will dominate globally in the AI space, which we've talked about. I don't think that's, and I think that wording is implied in the press releases. So I think I'm allowed to tell you this. It's not very specific, but the conclusion of all this work, the conclusion of the announcement on February 11th, but all the work involved, that's, AIP and Railtown and maybe some of these other companies and the bankers and it's imminent. The conclusion is imminent. Now, I did ask, I said, I've been telling people to get ready for September just because of vacations and etc. He said, I can't comment. He could not comment on that. He just wants you to know it's you're going to see a conclusion imminently. So for the shorts out there, I don't know what they're doing. They may be day trading, but as long as you can just not get anxious and not be shaken out, you're going to get to see, in my judgment, a huge, according to me, he didn't say that. The company didn't give me any guidance that way. But according to me, I think the stock, you're going to see a leap of approximately 10x. There's some other stuff I'd like to talk about. I think it's all public, but I'm not positive, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I don't think he told me anything that's not public, but the one thing I just read, I never found when I did my due diligence, so I'd rather just not say it just in case. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's just color. It's just color. He did make an interesting point that isn't specific, but it's something interesting, is that if you combine AI, I'm doing my own interpretation. AIP Partnerships has a job of rolling up these companies, much like Logic was trying to do. It's a different story. And I'm expanding on a point, a small point he made. I'm expanding on it. It's a different story when AIP is trying to do those roll-ups versus Railtown doing it. Because Railtown has this product, Conductor, that really is truly first to market, best in class, and it has applicability, as was stated in the news release, across all of the AIP network companies and their customers. So it gives leverage in negotiating the roll-up of these companies. And that's an interesting point. Of course, he talked about very smart people on both sides. And I talked in general, I talked about how I keep coming up with these huge numbers in terms of revenue and valuations. He couldn't comment on it specifically, but he didn't think that big revenue projections, I guess it always comes down to timing, are out of line. Not the ones, we didn't get into specifics, but the revenue numbers down the road are going to be very large. So he also gave me a lot of confidence in the fact that nobody is selling. He didn't say those words, but he gave me the big picture on who owns it. They're not selling. These guys on both sides want to see the fruits of their labor and see the upside. I guess I showed you this. Railtown is 10,800,000 shares, 10,800,000, 7.8%, 189 people involved. And I was going to have a couple of worksheets that I did for you before it came public, it came live, but I didn't get them done. Railtown is now down still 2 cents. G-Bucks is down 3 cents. ZJYL in the red. NRGV down 3 cents. Nixie is up 2 cents. Finger is down a penny at 140 bid, 141 ask. My city is taken over by the National Guard. I think the last time that happened was when Martin Luther King was killed. and I'll go to your comments. Okay. Let's see what you're saying. Hey, Lewis, you are first from Florida. Brought up in Brooklyn. I didn't know that. Hey, Steve. Why? What happened with your weekend? Mine was all right. I'm starting to be able to walk again, which is a huge thing. 9,000 GTII for 15 cents. Go down to 14 cents. I don't think the price is probably as important as just hopefully somebody steps in to buy. I don't give an F about swing trading. If you want to do a swing trade, which is just a clever name for losing your money, go ahead and do it. I don't agree with you at all. Let's look at the chart on Finger just to make sure. I don't see any momentum in that stock going up. If you want to be an idiot and do a Finger quote unquote swing trade, go ahead and do it. This chart looks like shit. The chart absolutely sucks. There's no swing in it at all. It's making new lows. I think it could go down to $1.25, even $1.20. There is nothing in the Finger motion chart other than if you want to make a case, which I don't see, for a declining wedge, I don't see any wedge. I just see a ski slope going down, down, down. Finger is not a swing trade. Do not listen to Justin. He's got terrible idea right now, but you can follow him if you want. You're not stupid, Justin. I just think it's a bad idea. You're not stupid. Hey, Jason Harbison, hello. P-Man picked some up under 50 cents this morning. I don't know if take that seriously or not, but congratulations if you did. D. Makalula. It's going to be a great week ahead. I hope so. JJ Jackson, arm wrestling. Hi to you as well. Northeast Iowa. Harvested tomatoes looks like salsa time. These shorts sure have a boring job. Let's go Railtown. Yep, I agree. It's just Northeast Iowa. I went through Giant Food. It's one of our large grocery chains here last night because Whole Foods, everything in my neighborhood is under lock. If I go to the People's Drug, everything's under a lock and you got to stand there and wait for a manager. Takes too long. So I was trying to buy some shampoo and some, I don't know, things like that. That Whole Foods has all sorts of weird products. So I went to Giant, and it's a huge facility, just gigantic. And I was just walking around, and if you look at what is sold in our freezers, refrigerators, and shelves at grocery stores, none of it's food. None of it's food. Everything in cans is crap. If you look on it, high fructose corn syrup, it's all processed and processed and processed, such like salsa. That's what I was thinking about. All that salsa is processed. The chips are processed. The bread is, if you went to a market in Italy, they would that bread would never sell. The cakes and the cereals, it's all sugar, and it's none of it is food. None of it. None is probably a strong word, but 80% of it, 85% of it's just factory created awful for us, canned and boxed and bagged crap. I wish I'd realized that as I grew up. It's not food. But I guess it's convenient. Hey, Sada. Hey, Sada. Good to see you. Philip Haynes. I have to wait until Friday to buy more. I continue to tell you that I think any day the price could jump. So you know, my own opinion, and I have to admit, I'm interpreting the confidence involved as meaning that the deal will get completed, but he never said that. So, I guess there's always a chance somehow it falls through, but I don't believe that. It would have had to have been announced a long time before. I just think it's the volume of work, negotiations, a lot of people involved. It's just taking time. But my caution is for our own sanity that we just plan for the first week or so of September. But it could be any time. It could be this afternoon, Phil. So I hope for your benefit that the stock is still available, let's say under 50 cents, under 60 cents by Friday, but at any time that could change. So, but I hope I'm willing to wait for you to get your shares. I'm willing to wait. Maybe it'll be next week. Maybe it'll be, like I say, it'll be in September. We'll find out. Hillary's upset with Trump for deploying the National Guard in D.C. If she lives here at all, she's up in Kalorama, where they have 3 different police forces: the D.C. police force, the Secret Service, and the National Park Police. They all patrol in Kalorama. So it's easy for her to say. My head's pounding a little bit. Which isn't a good sign, I guess. Okay, No more questions? Let's just try to go through, let's go through some revenue projections as an exercise and see where it leads us. I think you'll see the more revenue projections one does, the more you can understand that this stock is headed upward. Let me show you. Here's Railtown's companies: Conductor, Rail Tracks, Lang Tracks, and Shredder. I don't know why. I guess they just set it up that way as companies, but those are their products. Here are their partners: Mila, Amy, Microsoft Founders Hub, NVIDIA, UBC, AMD, and AI Partnership Corporation. I'm not going to read through their different products, but I do want to show you this. This is from their website. It's from Business Research Insights. The global developer tools market is going to grow to 17 billion by the end of the decade. In 5 years, 17 billion. So if that's one market we could use, 17 billion. Technically 17.2 billion. That's the global developer tools market. And then the global AI, this is from their website, again, quoting Vantage Market Research. The global AI as a service market is expected to grow to 130 billion by the end of the decade, 130 billion. That's another number we could use, 132 billion. And then it might be in a different notebook. Let me just go through this one first. Yeah, I think it's in a different notebook here. Okay, here. Nope, that's the same numbers I just got now. Okay, from a Corey Brandolini podcast or YouTube presentation from a year ago, he said there's nothing bigger than software. There's no market bigger than software. He said that his product is integrated with all the other tools, and they're best in class. They're the first mover, which we've talked about. He said Microsoft is very interested. I don't know what he meant by very interested. It's battle tested, and he rolled it out with Microsoft, which I think is a really big deal. And he said that it's a giant market, software developer tools market, $11 billion market. $11 billion. But he said it would be $300 billion in added AI spend by corporations. So those are two numbers. 11 billion developer tools and 300 billion added spend. Added AI software spend by all corporations. Then he said, well, it doesn't matter. Just projecting the overall AI market. We'll get some of the other. Okay, I showed you some industry sources, and the other day, one of them said 400 billion would be corporate spending on software. So let's use that. 400 billion corporate spending on software by 2027. And then I wrote down, he said, whoever it was we quoted that day, software, the annual spending on developer tools be 11 billion. We already have that written down. So those will be two numbers we use. And then let's see what I have here from Altucher, however you say his name. I know you have to take it, you're taking it based on my writing it down, but you can do your own Googling. You can do your own due diligence, and you can get the size of the market. All right. This is, again, from one of Corey Brandolini's talks. He mentioned that they're in with Microsoft partners. Their solutions are battle tested, ready to go. He talked about what they do and that software development is complex. He said 85 billion in GDP is lost because of code problems. He said they're getting phenomenal numbers in response from their customers, performance numbers, I assume. He said there's no bigger market than software development. He did point out that Microsoft, GitHub, has 1 million paying customers. So let's write that down, 1 million paying customers, just as GitHub, just as a not-for-nothing comparison. He said the development tools market in 2025 is 21 billion. 21 billion development tools in 2025 is what he said a year ago. He said AI software solutions, the money spent will be a 309 billion market by 2026. I think he said it. That's how my notes read. Then Altucher said that AI 2.0 will make crypto look like a ripple. A tidal wave of wealth will be created in AI 2.0. Fingers now bidding 139. Railtown is 50-cent bid by 51 cents, 373,000. James Altucher said that AI 2.0 will be this generation's last chance at wealth creation in such a size. He said AI 2.0 is not a far-off dream. It's already here. He said, forget crypto. The wealth building opportunity in AI 2.0 is one that hasn't happened in 150 years. He said it'll be a $15.7 trillion, $15.7 trillion bull market. And he said AI 2.0 will be the first $100 trillion industry. That's pretty big numbers. I'm not going to write any of those down. We listened to another interview a presentation by Corey Brandolini, and he said that Microsoft partners who they're in, I think he was speculating that Railtown's products could be bundled in with the applications in the GitHub developers universe. He said their products are battle tested. 2 of their first products landed on Microsoft. Talked about them. He said that the developer tools market is gigantic, 11 billion. We already wrote that number down. And then he said 300 billion in added spend on AI software. I already wrote that number down. He said that the GitHub CEO estimated that AI 2.0 would add 1.5 trillion to GDP, 1.5 trillion. Here's some valuations, recent valuations of funding. OpenAI, 300 billion. Anthropic, 60 billion. XAI, 80 billion. I'm not going to write any of those down. It's big numbers, though. Oh, this is These notes are for the, so similar to the story. There's a company in oil and gas that's doing cloud-based software for a tool that keeps the drill bit in the zone. A very similar story, but let's just move on from that. Okay, here's James Alturer again. He said that the next generation of AI technology will be investors' biggest wealth creation opportunity of a lifetime. Okay, let's just use those numbers. Let's use, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate numbers. Let's just use those as we'll do some calculating. So the software, the development tools market, as quoted on Railtown's website, is $17.2 billion. You know, by the end of the decade, $17.2 billion. And remember, what will happen is the good news will be discounted to now, but we'll come up with a figure for that discount. All right, so 17.2 billion. Let's use the research, which I think I left over there, unfortunately, but I read you the research yesterday, unless it's right here. Yeah, here it is. We'll use research from 1 year ago, this research report from 1 year ago with a target of $2. We'll use their very extraordinarily conservative penetration rate of 3%, which I almost think is stupidly small. But we'll use that. So Railtown's now bidding 51 cents, guys. All right, so 17 billion divided by, okay, times 0.03. That would give, this calculator is terrible. It's just terrible. 17. Okay. Times. All right, so that gives 516 in revenue. Annual recurring revenue, if they got 3% of 17 billion. That would be equal to 516 million in ARR. Now, they might not get that right away, but this is 5 years from now. So over the next 5 years, if they approach this 500 million in annualized revenue, it's going to be discounted to now once the brainiacs and quants start figuring it out. But let's do it first. We'll divide that. No, we won't divide that. We'll multiply that by 25x. I'll show you why we do that in a second. So that's 25x. It gives a big number that I can't quite tell you, 1.3 billion, I guess. And then we're going to divide it by 170 million shares. They only have 140 out right now. So it gives a target price, I'm going to round up, of $76 a share. $76 per share, using that addressable market with 3% penetration and a 25x. Let's discount this. Let's be severe. Let's discount it by 90%. So we'll just take 10% of it as our target this year at $7.60 a share. $7.60 a share. Look how much I discounted it to try to be conservative. $7.60 a share. Now this 25x, if you think that's too generous, cut this number in half. It's just under $4 a share if you use 12.5x. On the other hand, if you think this is too low, you want to use 50x, double this, $14 a share. But remember, I took it down 90%. So there's a target, $7. I'm going to write that one down. Our discount rate is 90%. So that target is $7.60. Now, I'm saying all that good news will be discounted to now by smart people and computers. All right, let's use a $132 billion market. We're going to use a $132 billion market, addressable market. 132 billion. Let's say they get 0.1%, not 3%, not 1%. Let's use 0.1% that they get. Of that market. A 0.1% of the market would be $132,400,000 in revenue. 0.1%, not 1%. 0.1%, because otherwise it'd be $1 billion. You wouldn't believe me. So we'll use 25 times that. $25x, and we'll divide it by 170 million shares. They only have 140 million out right now. That gives a price of $19.50. $132 billion market, 0.1%. 132 million times 25, $19 price. Again, discount it. Discount it. Do you want me to do it as severely as I did it before? All right. So your target is $1.95 right now at 25x. If you want to cut it in half because you don't like that number, call it $1. If you want to multiply it by 2 because you think 50x is better, it's a $4 target. But $1.95, but I'm using 0.1%. More realistically, they get 3% of that or 1% of that. And this number is much, much bigger. But anyway, let's use $1.95 in that case. Being really, really conservative. All right, then there's a figure here, $11 billion in developer tools. So let's use that addressable market number, 11 billion. And I'm going to use 3%. Penetration, just 3%. That seems so low. So that would be 330 million in revenue. Annually. 11 billion developer tools market with 3% penetration, $333 million a year. Let's do it by 25. That gives, I think, 8 billion, but let's divide that by 170 million shares. That's $48.50 a share. Right there. $11 billion market, 3%, over 300 million in annualized revenue times 25, $48 a share. Let's be just crushing in our discount. We'll just take 10% of that is today's value. It's $5 a share, $4.85. $4.85. That's with a $11 billion development tools market. $4.85 at a 10% discount. I mean 90% discount. All right, the next market is the added AI spend. We have two numbers there. One was let me just see if I wrote it down. Yeah, 309 billion, and one is 300 billion. Let's just use 300 billion. And we won't do the calculation for the other. So 300 billion. And let's use 3%. That's 900 million. ARR. Let me just make sure that's correct. No, it's wrong. It's 9 billion. It's 9 billion. So the $300 billion a year spend times a 3% penetration gives you 9 billion in ARR. Let's take that by 10%. That gives you 900 million. Let's multiply that by 25. Divide that by 170 million. Gives you a target price of $132 per share. $132 per share. Let's discount that by 90%. That gives you a target of $13.20. And remember, I discounted the revenue by 90% too. $13.20 target right now for that amount. All right, there's another number here, 400 billion in cap spending on software, 400 billion. So let's do that one, 400 billion. Times 3% gives you, this will be our highest number, $12 billion in ARR. Let's not use that number. Let's take it. Let's discount it by 90%. So we'll take 10% of that number. It'll give us 1.2 billion. In ARR. Let's do it again. We'll take 10% of that. So it'll give us 120 million in revenue per year. And we'll do 25 times that for a valuation. That'll give us a $3 billion valuation. We'll divide it by 170 million shares. And it equals $17.50. And you know what? I'm not going to discount that one. Because I took the size of the market, 400 billion, multiplied by 3% penetration, gives $12 billion annual revenues. I took a tenth of that. And then I took a tenth of that and divided by 170. So it gives me 1750. I'm not going to discount that. I'm just going to keep it there. 1750. And then an interesting one is there, according to Corey's talk, there's 1 million paying customers at GitHub, which is owned by Microsoft. What if those 1 million users were required to use Railtown and they paid the average of $108 per year that's in this report? So if we had 1 million users who were mandatorily required to pay $108 to get GitHub, that'd be 108 million per year times 25 divided by 170 million. That'd be $15.80 share valuation. I'm going to leave that one without a discount too. I mean, you're welcome to, it's 1588. So I'm going to call it 1590. All right. So I just showed you 6 revenue valuations, and I discounted them all as I made the calculations, and then I discounted most of them by 90%. The only 2 I didn't discount by 90%, the last 400 million, I discounted the revenue twice by 90%, so I didn't do it further. And then on the GitHub 1 million paying customers, I didn't discount that because it's a different calculation. You're assuming that 1 million paying developers pay $108 a year, which is what this research used. And that is, you come up with a number. There's no reason to discount it. That's out of 30 million developers worldwide. So using this research as a starting point, a year ago, we have a $2 target. We have a $1.95 target. We have a $4.85 target. We have a $7.60 target. We have a $13.20 target. We have a $15.90 target. And we have a $17.50 target. Here's my targets for right now. I'm talking September, October. Here's a list of targets. $2, $1.90, and these are discounted. These are discounted by 90%. This one was discounted twice by 90% in the revenue, and this one was not discounted because it's a different calculation. This one up here, I discounted the market penetration to 1/10 of 1%, 1/10 of 1%. So here's a range of projections, fully discounted, or in another word, risked, for now, for let's say September, $2, $1.95, $4.85, $7.60, $13.50, $15.90, $17.50. Let's get a median target. We'll cross out the lowest and the highest. And we will get a median. 2 plus All right, so divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a median target for right now. Let's say September. $8.71. I crossed out the high and the low, averaged the rest, and you got a median target of over $8 a share right now. So guys and girls, that's a bunch of calculations which essentially are all guesswork until the deal gets done. But I showed you where I got them from, and I discounted everything except the GitHub number. I discounted everything by 90%. The last number, I did it twice in the revenue, 90% twice in the revenue. So when I tell you I think there's 10x from here quickly, that's where I get it from. I actually think it could go to $8 once the news is released. And so the quiet period's off. Other people out there are going to do these calculations I just did, and it's going to be really sophisticated. It'll go into their computers, but they'll believe the calculations. They won't need convincing. And then the shorts are going to be caught out of time. I said, baby, 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 you're out of time. I said, baby, 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 you're out of time. You're all caught out. You're out of here without a doubt. I said, baby, 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 you're out of time. 51-cent bid to 52 cents. The volume is 448,000. And I hope you're in there buying. I really do. All right, let's see what some of the other stocks are doing. Finger is down 3.5 cents at 138.5. G-Bucks is down 3 cents at 69 cents. ZJYL is down at 65.4. Nagerv Energy Vault is down 7 cents at 138. See how Mountain is doing. Mountain is down 29 cents at 13.35. Guys, this shorting theory, the short covering theory doesn't work. Just doesn't work. All right, let's go down to Junior's farm. Hey, Pizza Rules, just stopping in for a cup of coffee, friend. Got to mow my lawn and take a Harley ride with the grandgirls. Good gosh, that sounds fun. That sounds like a lot of fun, except for cutting the grass. Hey, Pizza Rules, enjoyed watching the projection show from Sunday on replay. That's awesome. All right, I'm almost like is going to tell me every prediction I've made is wrong. Happy Monday, Sir William. Most importantly, glad you're able to walk again. Thank you very much. It's not perfect, but I tell you what, it's amazing, you know. Just being able to stand up without wincing. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And glad you got to speak to somebody at Railtown. Sounds like you had I did have a great conversation. It was about 50 minutes, and he hit the bell, and he made me pay $195, and he said until next time, and he asked me, how did that make you feel? Yeah, he said he wanted to give me a sense of confidence that everybody's interests are aligned. I'm using my own words, but everybody's interests are aligned, and everybody is trying to pull this higher for shareholder value. You know, the principals at Railtown don't pay themselves a high salary. They don't award themselves big stock awards. They're just in it with us, and they own a huge percentage of this company. He did emphasize, I mean, he didn't use the word if, or, I mean, he couldn't tell me that the deal's done or not. But he's, clearly the confidence level is very high. But I don't think people are, except for Ward Richardson here, are focusing on, and the revenue numbers I've been using right now are just Railtown. I'm not even talking about AI partnerships. I'm just talking about Railtown. But people don't realize that AI partnerships is a huge leap forward in revenue projections. Two reasons. You're going to roll up those companies, you're going to acquire them based on their revenues, and the cross-selling, the ability to sell the conductor platform, etc., to 160 companies and their end users is gigantic. So the point I'm making is that being able to roll up the the AI partnership companies into Railtown is a huge acceleration, huge revenue targets, and a huge acceleration of the acquisition of those revenues as compared to growing one contract at a time or working with an investment banker one company at a time. Just the due diligence, getting to know each other, it can take months, if not a year, 2 years. So this is this is almost light speed of acquiring revenues and growing ARR and seeing, I think, a truly meaningful company. I think I can quote that if I wrote it down. Let me see. He was funny. I don't know if I can quote this. Let me just read it. I'm not sure it doesn't really say anything specific, but I probably should be careful to quote that. I'll quote it when I can. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, my confidence, I'm almost legend, is very high. And I don't think you're going to have to wait until September. But just for stress levels, keep it focused on September. But I don't think you're going to have to wait that long. In fact, it could be tomorrow. The guy I spoke with didn't give me a specific time frame at all. He just said it's imminent. So to me, imminent could be tomorrow, could be next week. In the context of 6 months, it could be 3 weeks. But I think the mood was much more to, the next week or so than the next month or so. So I don't think you're going to have to wait very long. And I certainly wouldn't be shaken out of it. Apparently, there's a call for a $50 target on NRGV, and it's down 5 cents. Railtown is now 51 to 52. Last trade 51.7. 448,000 shares in volume. And the last trade, 14,000 shares. That's a nice trade. And it's 239. Okay, you already hearing imminent was definitely a great thing. Yeah, I think you're a wordsmith, so I think you know what imminent means. I think I know what imminent means, but it's already been 6 months, so I guess imminent could be 2 weeks. I don't think it's longer than that. I think longer than that's not very imminent. So I would say 2 weeks or less, and it could be heck, it could be now. They could announce it right now. But let's not get our tension level up. Let's not get our tension level. Oh my gosh, Steve. Wife's been in the emergency room twice, cyst on an ovary. Oh, very young. Sorry to hear that. I guess the key is that it's caught early. If it's dangerous, that they caught it early. I hope they did. We'll say a prayer for that, Steve. Donna says a prayer. Good for you, Donna. Steve, we'll all say a prayer. Catherine Morris just bought. Yay! Yay! Go Railtown. Let's go to Junior's farm I forget the words to that. Let's go. Let's go to Junior's farm. Steve said, good job, Catherine. Bravo. I think you're going to be happy. Steve, thanks, Donna. She's a tough cookie. Just hope they can relieve the pain without surgery. That'd be nice. G Daddy might get us over. G Daddy might get us over. Do you know that? G Daddy might get us over. G Diddy. G Diddy might get us over a very important threshold. That's for my personal account in addition to your, I have the other one. All right, that might do it. I'll add that after. Hopefully other people are able to buy the stock today. So NRGV is down 5.5 cents at 139. MTEN is down 40 cents at 13.24. Finger is down 4 cents at 138. G-Bucks is down 3 cents at 69.13. And Railtown is up a penny and a quarter at 15.70. The bid is 0.502. The ask is 0.5199. Are you out of your mind? And I still show the last trade, 14,000 shares. There's not a lot of activity in the stock. Hey, Clay Schofield has 15.5. All right. Oh, you gave a total. All right. I'll just change the total. So now you move. I don't think you've moved up, but your number is bigger. Pat M. All right, Pat M. We're going to be over. Thank you, Pat M. Thank you, Clay. That's awesome. Pat M. I have 120. All right. No one knows if you're a man or a woman. Hi, I'm Pat. Remember that skit? That's awesome, Pat. 120 is definitely, we're going to definitely be. Let me show you where we are. I think the next time I show you this number, we're going to be over 11 million shares. How's that? Growing old ain't for sissies or for the vain. It's not for the vain. All right. Let's see if there's something else I can talk to you about, because I've pretty much given you my revenue calculations, and I hope you see how exciting it is. Al Zelensky. Uh-oh, COVID's coming back. Intel up. Let's go down to Junior's farm where there's some. Let's see what else I can fill your head with. EV batteries get second life in energy storage revolution. Used electric vehicle batteries are being repurposed for energy storage systems, providing a second life for lithium-ion batteries and contributing to domestic energy capacity. This repurposing helps conserve critical minerals like lithium, nickel, cobalt, reducing reliance on new mining. The growing market for energy storage offers a crucial safety net for EV battery manufacturers. Used and recycled electric vehicle batteries are getting a second chance at life through energy storage systems across the country. A lot of competition for energy storage. Lithium-ion batteries are retired from their role powering electric vehicles when they still have a lot of life in them. And repurposing these batteries for one of the fastest growing energy industry sectors is a no-brainer. Diverting lithium-ion batteries away from landfill and into storage projects yields multiple overlapping benefits. First, it helps build up domestic energy storage capacity in a cost-effective manner. The global energy storage market is on track to reach $200 billion by the middle of the next decade, up from $58 billion now. This represents a CAGR of 14.8%. As renewable energy sources become more prevalent in the national energy mix, energy prices become more volatile and can even dip into negatives when supply outpaces demand. This is because wind and solar energy are variable. Yeah, we all know that. The second benefit is that reusing EV batteries for energy storage avoids throwing the batteries away and throwing away critical minerals, including lithium, nickel, and cobalt. Third, battery storage improves a safety net for EV battery makers at a time when the market is cooling down. Quote, the market for grid-scale batteries and backup power isn't just expanding, it's becoming essential, said Kurt Kelly, General Motors Vice President of Batteries. I'm the Vice President of Batteries, Propulsion, and Sustainability. Quote, electricity demand is climbing and it's only going to accelerate. To meet that challenge, the United States needs energy storage solutions that can be deployed quickly, economically, and made right here at home. GM batteries play an integral role. We're not just making better cars, we're shaping the future of energy resilience. The use of batteries as power banks for data centers could also prove to be a critical solution to another major energy issue of the moment. I wish that Fukushima Daiichi had set up a battery bank. Damn it. Damn. Anyway, they go on talking about it. Electric demand is accelerating at an unprecedented pace, driven by AI and the rapid electrification of everything from transportation to industry. New York becomes the first U.S. state to mandate electrification of new buildings. Wow. General Matter is building a $1.5 billion uranium plant in Kentucky. That's too bad. It's going to be really close to all the horse farms. Commodities, every reason to be bullish. Do I have to pay for this? I guess I do. Yeah, it's useless to read that to you. Useless to read that to you. Loving you is wrong. I don't want to be right. Every bubble tells a story, don't it? Every bubble tells a story, don't it? Every bubble tells a story, don't it? All right, according to GMG research, the Mag 7 have reasserted themselves as market leaders, driven by the underestimated impact of AI. Investors cannot grasp the transformative power AI will have over the next 3 or 4 years, or the scale of megatech's investment. Bitcoin will continue to lead every asset class this year and be included in many 401ks. Long-term interest rates are likely headed higher. Not sure about that. I'm not sure about that at all. Price action still rules over fundamentals. Palantir to 200. The importance of macro. Most stock moves are driven by the big picture, with company-specific factors only account for a fraction of the move. Most Wall Street analysts and investors are trained on a bottom-up view, which can lead to mistakes when macro forces take over. Diversification tends to work well when you don't want it to, during rallies. In other words, your performance sucks, but it fails to protect us during downturns. This challenges the traditional investment strategy of diversification, highlighting the need for a more dynamic approach to managing portfolio risk. Yeah, I got to pay for any more comment. All right, let's read Jim Rogers. Oh, it's an interview. Jim Rogers says, "Look out the window. The debts are the highest in history," warns Jim Rogers in a no-holds-barred interview with Daniela Cambone. The Quantum Fund co-founder rips into policymakers, including Scott Bessent. I listened to that interview. They're misquoting him, or they're misrepresenting it. So that's all it says. Let's go back to the quotes. I'll try to get some of your comments. Railtown. If I go to the other quotes, it updates Railtown. If I don't, it doesn't update Railtown. So NRGV's down 5.5 cents at 139.5. Mountain is down 59 cents at 13.05. Finger is down 4 cents basically at 138.01. G-Bucks is down 3 cents at 69.13. And Railtown is up, but not much. It's up. It's 50.21 bid, and the ask is 51.99. 450,000 shares. And guys, this is not you. This is not anything other than, I would imagine, I can't get that quote on my service. I have to go to Yahoo, but I would imagine this is trading in Canada. Let me just see if I can confirm that. How wrong you can be. Shanghai Lil never used the pill. She claimed it just weren't natural. 71 cents, up a penny in Canada. And the volume? The volume in Canada is 130,000. That's what's driving the stock price. These guys that are trying to short it on the over the counter, it's such a puny plan. Such a puny plan. I know Saddam on NVIDIA is a partner with Railtown, a very important partner with Railtown. And I continue to emphasize that the most logical, here's technology in a nutshell. Technology, you come out with a product, it's ahead of its time, it gains traction, and the big guys buy you out. Or you try to make your own company one of the biggest in the world. That's called a unicorn. NVIDIA, Microsoft, and AMD are the most logical buyers of Railtown once it gets traction, because just for the reason you're saying, they are a partner. NVIDIA is a partner. What is imminent? Your dog is going to want to take a walk. That's imminent. What I think is imminent, I don't know that I wrote down a specific set of words. Let me see. I tried to get, like a jerk, I tried to get, I said, what does that mean? Does it mean tomorrow? Does it mean next week? No way, Jose. I was not going to get an answer on that. But what I think I can say this, they're going to reach a conclusion of that February 11th announcement of the Memorandum of Understanding. What the conclusion is, we don't know imminently. The conclusion is imminent. So that's what it is. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means today after the close, or if it means next Monday, or if it means, September 1. But imminent is all I know, imminent. And if I had to guess, just reading the tone of voice and the enthusiasm, I would go with sooner rather than later. But like I say, Danielle, I don't know if that's going to be. They could make a news announcement any hour, any day, any week, any month. And if I had to pick one of those, I'd say any day more than any hour. And I would say I don't know. I might be being optimistic, but I'd probably say any day rather than any week. I guess what I'm saying to you is I wouldn't wait. I think something might happen. How about if I say it this way? I think something might happen this week or next, within the next 2 weeks. I have been saying September. Now I'm saying within 2 weeks. How's that? It's a guess. It's a guess. It's a guess. But I think it is imminent. I think it is imminent. Wow, Marty, I'm going to write that down. We're going to be heroes. I wish I could buy more. Marty Party added 9,500. Good for you, Marty. Perfect thing to do. Perfect thing to do. Absolutely perfect thing to do. It's not much trading in it. What I show is a trade at 230 for 14,000 shares, 245 almost, 2,000 shares, and then 3 o'clock, 250 shares. So the last hour really hasn't been a lot of trading. There's 450,000 shares, volume 50 by 51.99. Are you out of your mind? Steve, nothing they can do for her. See her in 8 weeks. She can barely walk. Oh my gosh, what do you mean there's nothing they can do for her? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor. They can't just remove. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Lawrence, Damina, batteries are in data centers. They're only used for 15 minutes when power loss from the grid happens. Before generators cut on, Dollar Vert. I guess that's a company to look up. I'll look that up. Dollar Vert. So it's really short-term use. It's evidently. I hope she's okay. That's tough. Guys, I'm glad you're hanging in there. Some of you were adding more shares. I'm very proud of you, but more importantly, you're going to be proud of yourselves. Let's say, where's my calendar? Where's my calendar? Today is August 8th. Let's see if there's a good deadline for us. Oh, the Jewish New Year is on the 23rd. Do you think it'll happen before the Jewish New Year? No, it starts on the 22nd. That could be our goal. It'll start before the Jewish New Year on the 22nd. But I have a feeling I'll pick August 16th. How's that? We should have a pool. I'll pick August 16th. That'll give the attorneys all week and the weekend, and they can come in to work late on Monday. No cancer. Awesome. No cancer. That's great. That's great, Steve. I know that doesn't stop the pain, but that's got to be welcome news. Railtown now 50.502 to 0.5184. We've got 40 minutes to go. I don't really have detailed information, so we'll just ride this out until 4 o'clock. I'm going to have dinner with my sister tonight, so I'll probably just sign out at that point. Railtown's up a penny right now, 51.84. Energy, whatever that is, Energy Vault is down 3.5 cents, 141.5. Mountain is down 54 cents, 13.10. Finger is down 4 cents at 138. G-Bucks is down 3 cents at 69.13. All right, so my prediction is August 16th. That's my prediction. It's better than September 15th. I got to give you that. Israeli strikes kills 5 journalists. Hey, they got to protect themselves. You can't pick on Israel for protecting themselves from journalists. Donna says, Steve, something's not right. Steve, is she running a fever? All right, we're going to go 45 more minutes. It might be boring, but we'll do it. All right, let's go back to the price. It's really boring. There's very little happening. Still 450,000 shares. I'm so glad you guys are standing in there. You know, maybe something will happen in 15 minutes. I don't think so, but it could. You never know. What should I talk about? Railtown hasn't traded, so it looks like it's going to be slow until 4 o'clock. So we got 45 minutes. What would be interesting? I'll tell you if I go. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go. I signed up to go to a conference next week. But I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go. We'll see. Here's the companies I'm going to be meeting with. Advantage Energy. I don't know anything about that. Natural gas and liquids. Amplify Energy. I know a little bit. Oklahoma and the Rockies. And Schultz Exploration. I've met with those guys. They wouldn't remember me, but that's an old line company. APA Corporation. I like APA. That used to be called Apache. They have subsidiaries in United States, Egypt, and the UK. Egypt's pretty interesting. Too bad Israel can't attack Egypt and go get their natural gas. Aureus Energy. Yeah. And I've listened to them. Baytex Energy, Calgary, Alberta. That'll be part of the United States soon, probably. Berry Corporation. Berry is, to my memory, they do a lot of secondary and tertiary recovery using CO2. Bison Oil and Gas, 4. So it's the 4th version of Bison. I've sat in on their presentations. Cutting edge of technology. BKV. Don't know anything about them. Blackbeard Operating. Privately held energy company in Fort Worth, Texas. I'll enjoy meeting them. BPX Energy. I've never heard of them. BPX Energy, Permian Basin. Yep. Eagleford, Haynesville, headquartered in Denver. Cambria. Looks too big for me to ever help out. Deep Blue Water. Water management. I like that. Deep Fission. Carbon-free, reliable electricity. Oh, I think I know this gentleman. Small modular reactors, 1 mile underground. I look forward to seeing him again. Deep isolation. Nuclear waste. Diversified energy. Yeah, they took over a lot of assets, if it's the right one, in Appalachia. DNOW. I don't know what, I'm not going to see DNOW. Drilling tools, I'm not going to see them. Energy Fuels. Global critical mineral company poised to provide 10 of the 50 critical minerals in the world today for energy. Okay. ENI's SBA. Can't help them. EOG, it's a great company, but I can't help them. Can't help that. Epsilon Energy, North American onshore focused independent natural gas and oil company. Look forward to meeting them. ESAL, Flowtech, Freehold Royalties, manages one of the largest non-government portfolios of royalties in Canada. Yeah, I'd like to meet them. Fundair Resources, long-lived, low-risk producing properties. Okay. Gondola, upstream, 60-plus Niobrara horizontal wells. Sounds good. Grand Tierra, Canada, Colombia, and Ecuador. Granite Ridge, premier, non-operated, oil and gas exploration. I look forward to meeting them. Green Flare, harnesses stranded natural gas to power modular off-grid data centers. Like that idea. Haynes Boone, like them. Hemisphere Energy, dividend playing. Kelt Exploration, Alberta. A lot of Canadians. Coda. Yeah, a lot of small companies starting up. This is the beginning of the cycle. Liberty Energy, Logan Energy, Logos Energy, Mach Natural Resources, Marin Energy, NCS Multistage, New Era Helium, New Vista Energy, Next Energy Solutions, Oklo, Fission Power Plants, Parex Resources, PGM Private Capital, Petrie Partners, Prairie Operating, Precision Drilling, Prospera Energy, Providence Energy, Risa Energy, Recon Africa, oh, I remember them, Nambia and Botswana, Renawell Energy, Riley Permian, Ring, that's Torchlight, Rome AI, founded by a team of professionals. Rome AI bridges the gap between data and real-world decision-making. Their AI-driven platform maximizes uptime, optimizes production, increases revenue, and reduces operational costs by delivering actionable insights at scale. That looks interesting. Sandridge Energy. I met that guy. Saturn Oil and Gas, never heard of them. Select Water Solutions, SM Energy, Spartan Delta. Surge Energy. Acquiring and developing oil and natural gas reserves in Texas. Tamarack Valley, Tenaz Energy. Terran. Ubatera, that's the one that I told you about. Ubatera, I'm very close to, and they're the ones that Railtown is so similar to. But Ubatera is an oil and gas company. But it says here, Ubatera Corporation is a Colorado-based software company leveraging cloud technology to assist teams drill and complete better wells. To help asset teams drill and complete better wells. That's the one that when I learned the Railtown story, I said, it's just like Ubatera. Upcurve, Valera, Verde, Vermilion, VER, Vitesse, Whitecap, Williams, Zephyr. All good. Let's get some quotes. 10,000 shares have traded. No, I don't see it. I do not see the trades. I see 200 shares and 250 shares. I don't know how the volume got up by 10,000. But it did. Energy Vault is down 4.5 cents at 140. Mountain is down 62 cents at $13. Finger is down 4 cents at 138. G-Bucks is in the red barely. And Railtown's up at 52 cents, 0.502 by 0.5182. So they jump below it. That's not for sale, jerks. But it was only 200 shares that went off at 52. Can I say who I talked to? No, I can't. I don't think I can say that. They called me. Which was great. It was a great conversation, Clay. Like I say, it went on for 50 minutes. I think it was all information that's out there in the public domain, but I just want to be careful. I don't want to quote it too specifically. I just don't want to make a mistake and upset anybody. All I do want to relay is that he called me. It was a he, I can say that, with a specific goal of he said he wanted to give me a sense of confidence. Fair enough. I got it. I got a sense of confidence. And I don't think there's anything, Clay, after talking with him for almost an hour, I don't think there's anything wrong at the company. I just think that this merger, acquisition, marriage of these two companies is a big deal. It's a big, it's a big item, and it requires a lot of due diligence, a lot of negotiation, a lot of papering it up. And having said that, I don't think it's going to take too much longer to make some kind of update. I don't know if, he didn't say it's a definite that it's. He didn't tell me that that's what they're going to announce, that the deal is done or anything. But I think, I don't think I'm wrong in implying that we're going to get bigger news rather than just some of these small little pieces of news soon. I don't know what soon means, Clay. Unfortunately, we can't know. He did say it's been a lot of work they've done. What was good to hear is everybody's interests are aligned. The decision manager, the people that would make a financing decision or decide whether an acquisition makes sense, they're making those decisions based on what helps their share ownership position. They're not doing it based on salary or things like that. Like they can award themselves options or whatever. Their interests are aligned with us. So I think that's all good. But I really do think, Clay, it's not going to be September. It's good mentally to prepare yourself that you have to wait till September. But I really, after this phone call, I guess that's the one thing I feel confident about, is it's not going to be September. It's going to be August sometime. He did not say that. He did not say that. I did press, I did probe, I did try. And he said, I really can't say, I'm not allowed to talk about that. But you get a feeling when you're talking to people, and I think it'll be August now. I mean, we've got 2 weeks left in August, right? Or is it 3? Where's my calendar? Let's see my calendar. I just had it. Oh, here it is. We have 3 weeks left in August, don't we? I would say I was looking at the wrong month when I made that prediction. I would say maybe we'll find out by the 20th. By the 20th. That's what I would say. I don't know what month I was looking at. So we got 3 weeks left, Clay. Not 5, 4 or 5. I'd say within 3 weeks we'll hear about it. And stock's acting terrifically today. The bid is 12,000 shares, which I bet is real. The ask is 52,500, which I think is fake. And now they're trying to move it around 6,500, 52,500, 55, 48,500. They're just trying to head fake you. It's all fake. It's all fake. Last trade 52 cents. Let me see. Hey, so now what? No fever. No fever. That's good. Account settings. After the FOIA information coming out, Curtis said, quote, "We are waiting for nothing. Everything is in the flight." What does that mean? We are waiting for nothing. Everything is in the flight. We are waiting for nothing. Everything is in the flight. I don't know what that means. I think Hester Pierce has been made aware of ways to resolve MMTOP. Yeah, a couple of people, I think Donna's one of them, are expecting a settlement payout. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I tell you what, if those guys that are working so hard get something done, we all owe them something, a Coke. We owe them something. We owe them something. So it's 50. Yeah, see, they're moving the. They're trying to represent that there's 150,000 for sale, and there just isn't. There just isn't. It's not going to work. As long as you guys hold tight, their little scheme isn't going to work. It's a puny plan, their scheme. Such a puny plan. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. All right, so now they have the ask at $51.99, 22,000 shares. All this is illegal what they do, but who cares? It's just our country. It's just our country. Let's see what it says, account settings. I wasn't clear. Someone asked him, are they waiting for any more information? We are waiting for nothing. Everything is in the flight. Everything is in the flight. I don't know what that means. So I think the bid is probably real. 42,500 at 50 cents. But then they have 22,000 at 51.99 for sale. I just saw another number at 52. 17,000 at 52, 8,000 at some number. They're just trying to pretend to you that there's a bunch of stock for sale. It's manipulation. It's illegal. But no one cares. No one cares. NRGV, well, we went through it. They're all red. It's not fair to keep going through them. Let me see if I can get a Railtown update. 0.007 up, which isn't very much, I guess. God, my head is hurting. My head is hurting. So I think it's my eyesight. I don't think it's anything wrong. I hope nothing's wrong. 3:38, we got 20 minutes to go. I'm almost certainly going to sign off at 4 o'clock because I've completely run out of things to talk about. And I don't want to torture you with more boredom. The bid is 42.5. That hasn't changed. 12,000 bidding now for 50.502. My guess is they stepped in front of the other to fool you that The buyers are small and the sellers are large. Let's see if anything's happening in the news. Baltimore is at risk of a widespread blackout, but we should still keep spending trillions of dollars protecting Israel instead of looking out for our grid. We got to have our priorities in the right place. "20 minutes to go." It's a boring day. This is August. That's why. All right. 50.502 bid, 12,000 shares. They show the offer 31,000 shares at 0.52. The volume is 461,800. So they did 1,000 shares at 0.5115. Swell. Hmm. 15 minutes to go. I don't know if I'm going to give that to you. I'm reading an update on the call on NRGV. I think I'll keep that to myself. It's too... You can follow it on Twitter. I find it unbelievable. The bid is on Railtown is 0.502, ask 0.52, 12 by 31,000. We got 15 minutes to go. No comments, so there's very little I can talk about. They're trying to represent a lot of stock for sale. They keep showing several offers, but I don't think a single one of them is real. It's not real. It's not real. Baby. Mm-hmm. All right, Donna. We've got how much time left? Yeah, Donna, I've just run out of things to say. Thanks for the information to keep us informed and motivated. The call was a great surprise. I will be buying more Railtown tomorrow when my money clears. Enjoy your dinner with your sister. Thank you. It's 5115.502 by 0.5188. 461,000 shares. There's no volume change. No volume. No change in volume. Hey, I'm Almost Legend question. If you care to share, do you and your sister have different personalities, or are they similar? She's smarter than I am. She's an introvert in every sense of the word. I'm an extrovert in the sense that I get a lot of energy, at least for a while, when I'm around people. It drains her, just particularly when she's around new people, but even people she knows, she gets completely drained. She has to leave and go spend time by herself. I'm the opposite. So what I've been doing the last 1 or 2 years doing this is just me. And it's very draining, particularly when the attacks come. She's not, she doesn't enjoy making stupid jokes or anything, although she can remember a joke or two. She's got nearly, I wouldn't say that she's got, what's that memory? Photographic memory, but she can remember every rule of punctuation. I can ask a lot of people, you'd be a good person to ask this of, but a lot of people to me completely misuse him and her in our language. They use it as a subject, which I've never known him or her to be a subject. But I can't explain that. She can. She can explain everything down to the exact. She has that memory. She can remember songs almost word for word. It drives her crazy. So all I have to do is remember one or two verses of a song, and then she's going crazy. She's a very she does everything correctly. She if you have an appointment with her, you don't want to be early, but you don't want to be late. I'm not like that. If you're early, fine. If you're late, fine. I can deal with it. But she's very adamant about it. She can't keep anything to herself in terms of information. So she's, it's not that she gossips or anything, but she feels like, she always tells the truth. She tries to be very good. She's devoted to her cat, and what else about her? She tends to, here all you hear is me talking, but if there's if there's a gathering of family or whatever, she tends to do most of the talking, at least until she runs out of energy. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if our personalities are the same. She gets mad at me when I make comments, like I sometimes do, about women. She says, "Well, it's not all women," and she'll correct me that I don't really know what I'm talking about. She's right about that. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about her. Don't know what else to tell you about her. She's more, we're only 2 years apart, but, well, a little more than 2 years, I guess, slightly more than 2 years. But that's enough. 2 years. I'm 2 years older than she is. That's enough to see our childhood differently. She has a lot of good friends. And she's reliable. She is reliable. And I don't know. I don't know if we're similar at all. I don't know. I don't see the similarities other than common experience. She is very much, she's at least in situations where it matters, she will stand up and point out the, you know, the truth or the hard choice or the a lot of it comes from her tremendous memory, but she can point. I've never been in those situations, but at meetings she can point out that, now wait a minute, that's not the rule, we got to do it this way, for example. And that's not always the way people want to hear, but she does it not out of pettiness. It's just out of what's the right thing to do. She's generous. But she also, like I say, she protects her own time and her own. I used to be. I don't know what I'm like now. The time has gone by, but I can be much more flexible with people than she is. If it's planned, she can deal with it. If it's not planned, she's kind of doesn't have the energy. Ward Richardson, CEO of GitHub, stepping down. Is he get a better offer? Is he gonna be paid $3 billion to go somewhere else? I wonder why. Oh, I guess because Microsoft bought it and he's probably going to go do something new where he can make money, I guess. All right, so we got 4 minutes and this torture can be over with. The volume is 465,000. So there's been no volume. 1,000 shares went off 15 minutes ago. So it's just slow as molasses. It's 0.502 by 0.5187. 0.502 by 0.5187. 12 by 24. 3 minutes to go. And nothing's happening. This is the slow dog days of August. Slow. 2 minutes to go. Well, not quite. Still shows 357. 0.502 to 0.5187. It won't be hard for this to close in the green, but they'll try to make it close in the red. That's their mission. They've already got the ask down slightly. Manipulation, 0.5187. It's just tedious. 0.502 to 0.5187. 2 minutes to go. $465,550. 1,000 shares went off, I don't know, 25 minutes ago. And the rest of it's all spoofing. The bid is 0.502 for 12,000. One of the asks is 24,000 for 0.5187. We've got less than 2 minutes to go. The last volume is 465,550. Less than a minute to go now. 0.502 by 0.5187. Volume is 465,550. Less than a minute to go. Nothing happening. We'll see what they do with the last second. They could close it down. On the other hand, they could close it up. Just depends. If it's the bid, it'll be down. If it's the ask, it'll be up. 465,550. Less than a minute to go. Much less than a minute to go. 0.502 bid. 0.5187 ask. They're closed up 0.007 at 0.5115, and the volume is 465,055. So it was a green day. They did their best to get the thing to go down. Some of the other stocks, I don't know how to tell how they closed, because once they close, they don't show up and down. Unfortunately, I think our friend Finger was down. It was down 4 cents, 138. And let me see what... yeah. See, this quantum thing, they run it up and then they always bring it down. And I think they're just milking it to take money away from you. But who knows? Maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're onto something. I'm Almost Legend. Thank you for sharing about you and her. Thanks for sharing about her. Thanks for sharing about her. Yeah, I guess that's right. Another great insight into the Farron family. Always enjoy what you share about your family, travels, and experiences. Yeah, you would have liked to meet my dad. You would have liked that. My mother, I don't know. My dad, you would have enjoyed. All right, so let's see. Let's just see. I'm going to look. I know there won't be anything, but I'm going to look. See if Railtown has any news after the close. I'm telling you guys to calm down, and then I'm checking. No news. No news. Yeah, we'll just wait. Just wait a few days, a couple of weeks. We can wait. It'll be worth it. Just don't be shaken out. These guys don't know what's coming. They haven't studied it. They just use the same strategies on every stock. It always works, but not here. Not here. Because you know the core of it, Railtown doesn't need to raise money from them. And I actually got the impression, very strong impression, that the company, the principals at both companies, they're all onto the games that Wall Street plays. So I think they'll be very careful. And that's good to hear. All right. Well, I think I'm going to sign off. I think it was a good day. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry I didn't have more. I hope I accomplished my goal of showing you that you can come at it from a lot of different targeted audiences and assume a very small sliver goes to Railtown, ignoring AIP, and then you can discount those numbers. You can discount quite harshly. I discounted by 90%. And I still got a median target price now of $8 a share for Railtown. I know it's a lot of guessing, but that's all we have right now. We'll find out over the next days, weeks, we'll find out. And then once it's found out, we're never going to be sitting here waiting again. And for you guys who purchased today, I think you're going to be very happy. For those of you who held on, I think you're going to be quite pleased. And I think I'm just looking. I think we're going to be over 11 million shares tomorrow. I'll figure that out. And I look forward to sharing some time with you tomorrow afternoon. So to each of you, peace.